record it and we'll so um the lesson of the day is to get really the recruiting mindset. Recruit or be recruited. That's what I want everybody to leave with is that thought process. And everybody wants what we have. Everybody. I don't care who you talk to. Everybody wants unlimited residual income and everybody wants to control their time. And that's not a debate. That's a fact. Everybody wants unlimited residual passive income, mailbox money, and everybody wants to control their time. Because once you have that, you can really seek out joy, happiness, love. It's better for marriages to have more time and money. It's better for all family relationships to have more time and money. And you got to be excited, man. You got to be excited. You're in the people attraction business. You're here to attract others. You're here to rescue other people. And so most people have been sold a lie. And the lie is go to school, get good grades, and go get a good job. That's a lie. I think the truth. That's a bunch of garbage. Um, People need us way more than we need them. And when you realize that, you realize you're rescuing people. It's a mentality, it's a thought process. It is all a numbers game. You got to talk to lots of people because you can throw the life preserver out, and some people will not grab it because they'll say, ah, well, I can tread water for a little bit longer, or I'm waiting for another life preserver that's got a better, bigger place on it. I'm waiting for the one that's the Cadillac of the life preservers. I'm waiting for the easy life preserver, the one that I don't have to grab onto and still kick. I just want to lay in it. All right. You got to expose the nightmare, sell the dream. Expose the nightmare, sell the dream. Um, Disconnect emotionally from the sad people that don't get it. Because some people will not get it. They think they're doing fine. But if you go back to how much residual passive income they have and how much time control they have, you'll find out that a lot of people don't have much of either. Very infrequently do you run into people where they have a lot of passive income and they have a lot of time. Very infrequently. And then people don't join. Why? Because their thinking is messed up and they have fear. They have a lot of fear. People are scared to death. And it is a science. You do have to connect with people. You do have to relate to people. You do have to attract those people. So when you're talking, Ellis, we had Carl on the other night, man, and he's got a guy next to him, and the way he talks, he wouldn't attract me to nothing. It's like, well, maybe I'll do something. Maybe I'll get one thing. Well, that ain't going to attract your buddy. I'm going to blow up, man. I'm going to fire. I'm going to go get free. I'm going to get out of this damn job. I'm not going to drive a bus my whole freaking life. We got to get him talking different, thinking different. Okay. Um, so I don't think there's anything else here. Yeah, that's just walking through how to do a recruiting interview, 3 learning tracks, spare time. But here's what I thought might be a good thing to go through, and this is a PDR if we want to do something like this. But it is Christian did a great talk years ago about leadership and showing up. And I don't even know if I know where to find that. But the whole idea is you're going to learn how to recruit or be recruited. You've got to learn to either not, well, let me stop, just talk about the thought process because this is a small group on here today. So I don't know what I'm going to help you guys with, but you either recruit or be recruited. That's just the thought process. And, when we grew up as kids, I promise you, all of us on here heard the same thing because we got 2 engineers, we got a mathematician, we got a guy that struggled in school on camera. I don't know who else is here. Um, Miguel is here, Christian Lazo, but most of us, all of us would agree. Go to school, right? Attend it, become really good students. Everybody heard that. Study like crazy, be a good student of school, listen to the teachers, follow their direction, don't be disorderly, don't get out of line, go to change classes, show up early, stay late, get the job, follow your boss's directions. We were all taught to be recruited. We were all taught to be good little workers. We were all taught to fall in line, to be orderly. You got to throw that out the window. That doesn't work. Not in the business solution world. We got to get people to change their thinking. And the thinking needs to be, because if you grew up in a business wealthy family, this is the thought process. And it's like this. Hey, Gerald, can you help me real quick?
Yes.
If you were raised by a very successful business owner, would you be more focused on your resume or your business solution?
Business solution.
Are there conversations around the table that are happening that are going to be more focused on how do we solve the problem in the market rather than, Gerald, how do you become a good employee and go work for my competitor?
The latter. Just how to get a
You're
good
going to be
job.
thinking and talking to your very, and I'm talking about not just a little success, I'm talking about a very successful business owner. If you were raised in the Walton family, or maybe today, I'm just trying to think of some families, the Bezos family with Amazon, or if you were raised by, one of the many kids of Elon Musk, you're not thinking, let me get my little resume together. Let me go to school, get good grades. Let me go apply somewhere to be recruited by some other person. You're thinking, no, I'm the person. I'm going to find a solution in the market and I'm going to bring that solution to the market. So think about that for a minute. Would you be thinking, I need to find a job, be recruited, or find a solution and recruit others?
Find a solution.
Yeah. And if I had a viable business that's very profitable, would or should you investigate that business?
A smart person what should.
Yeah. Smart? Is that what you said?
Yes, a smart person
A
should.
smart person. What would you consider yourself smart?
Yeah.
So if you're queuing up the business properly and you're thinking properly, you should get a lot of people to take a look at your business. So it's like you're talking to somebody. It's like, look, Johnny, you're working at, Trader Joe's. Can you help me out here real quick? If
Yeah.
you were raised by a very successful business owner, would you be more focused on your resume or your business solution in the market?
The business solution.
Yeah, because if they say resume, it's like you don't get it. Wait a second, your family has a very successful business. I'm sure they're not teaching you to go get a job at the local bank. Now, if you're maybe a little slow on the uptake, maybe. If maybe a little handicapped, maybe you get a job. But if you have all your senses and you're intelligent, you're going to be talking to them about where's the idea. When I talk to Bruce and I'm not saying all of them end up with a business solution. Some people work in a job temporarily. I've seen it before. I've seen it with Christian's kids. I've seen it with my kids, but they've seen it. And I'm not saying, and mine's not very successful. Mine's okay successful. But Christian and Bruce, certainly super successful. His kids haven't seen him work for years. They all are looking for business ideas. They're all entrepreneurial, his daughters. Are your kids entrepreneurial? And if they're not, guess what? Guess whose fault that is? Your fault. So if you want to change that, you got to be thinking, hey, I got to get my mind more entrepreneurial, more success related, more recruit related. I got to decide to become a recruiter like crazy and kick that old mentality out of my brain and start saying, I'm going to become a recruiting machine like Andy Young. Because Andy didn't have to be that great at the business. I promise you, Tommy DiGirolamo is better than Andy at the business. He's better at building relationships and getting people to give him one, two, three, four, $5 million. I don't know if Andy Young's ever gotten $1 million rollover. Maybe never. I don't know if he's ever written 30,000 a month in business. But there are people in our business that write 30,000 a month in business, 20,000 a month in premium. We've seen it, but you can have that. It's an easier mentality to switch that and say, hey, you know what? I want to become a recruiter. Because if I become a recruiter, I'll find the rollovers. I'll find those things. You can get to a point, get to RVP, decide to become a recruiter below RVP because you're never going to become an RVP till you become that recruiter. Deepak can maybe get away right now without becoming a big time recruiter because Deepak's crossed $600,000 a year in income. Deepak's family will be okay. Deepak has a lot of investments. Deepak's business will continue to grow. And Deepak's business, like my business, doesn't have to be massive, but $1 million a year in income, what percentage of the population get to that point? 1%? So you can become a 1 or 2%er here, but you got to become an RVP first. And to become an RVP, you got to recruit. So think about that. Can you do that? Can you walk me through that conversation or like that conversation, Gerald? And can you have that conversation with just like that, something like that?
Or do you want me to go ahead and
Sure.
Okay. I guess only so people, I guess, do Ellis since you only.
And you could have somebody that's stubborn, somebody that's being stupid, I don't know. Well, hey, can you help me out here?
Hey, I guess that Ellis, can you help me?
No. You said stubborn, right? No. Yeah, what do you got?
X, you're not the one then.
Red light, green light. Okay, later.
Next. Let's go next. Next person.
Okay. If you were raised by a very successful business owner, would you be more focused on your resume or your business solution?
My business solution.
Okay. I'm trying to reach in here and think about that for a minute. Would you be thinking, I need to find a job or I find a solution and go find a business solution and recruit others to help me to achieve that.
Well, find a solution and I got to recruit others.
Yeah. So if there was a viable business that was very profitable, which would or should you investigate it more?
Well, at least you get some more information, that's for sure.
Great. Let's go more, or that's it?
Well, I mean, you got to be thinking it's a mentality. It's like, okay, can you help me out? Can you help me? Can you help me out here with your thinking? I'm trying to help you. Can you help me out here real quick?
Yes. That's all.
And it's getting people to think, a little differently. We got to shift people's thinking. When we do that ESBI, we started out with, I want you to just change your thinking. I want you to think a little differently than the way you've been thinking. I want to see if we can get you into the mentality that it requires to think business solution. Because is there an easier way to say business solution? I don't know if there's an easier way. If there is, tell me. But if you're not thinking solutions in the marketplace, right?
Yes.
You got to think business solution. That's the whole idea of a business. When you watch, anybody ever watch Shark Tank?
Yeah. Used to.
When you watch Shark Tank, they will dissect the business and they will say, "Hey, you don't really have a business. You might have something where you can sell something that's good for you, that's small, but if they're going to invest in something, they need to have a big problem being solved in the market." Is there a big problem in the marketplace, in the financial marketplace?
Definitely.
Okay. So we've got a solution, but if you were raised by a very successful business owner, would you be more focused on your resume or your business solution? So if you study it, and you got to get people thinking a little differently, always it's a change in mentality. So when you're new in conversations with people and you've got an opportunity to spend 5-10 minutes with them, hey, help me out here with this. And it might be tied into the ESBI. Help me out with this. Clarify my thinking. Maybe I'm the crazy one, or your crazy ass might be the crazy one that I prospected. I'm looking. You weren't. You were behind the counter. You were at Montgomery Ward. You were at 7-Eleven, right? We were all rescued. I had somebody reach out to me, call me. I was at Wolf Camera. Gerald, you were at Travelers or somewhere like that, Guys, this is just a mentality shift. Recruit or be
I think a
recruited.
big piece of it, for at least when I do recruiting, is getting people to focus on the one making 100, one person making 100, doing 100% of the work, or 1% off 100 people. That piece, not saying it that way, but breaking it down so they understand that if you get another person and another person and another person and another person, you could be making money when you're not doing work, or you could be making more money while you are at one place because they can be in the house too at another place. And if you continue to do that, you can see how you can get it to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And to me, that's what I see that most people that I get a chance to recruit aren't thinking about. They're only thinking about they can only make money when they make effort, as opposed to they can make more money with more people doing the same thing and they get a piece of it. So I think that's a big piece, at least for me, that keeps me into the recruiting mindset.
Everybody's perspective, everybody's got a different perspective. Deepak might have a little different perspective, but I think one thing we all got to get on this advanced group, and as we're around this business for a while, we all have to get the mindset of recruit or be recruited. That's the bottom
It's true.
line.
And it's like Gordon, I like this script because think about most people are worried about their job. Nowadays, if they have a job in government, they all are worried, right? I was talking to one of our neighbor, he got Gordon 1.5 year ago, he got a $50 million project, government project for construction. And day before yesterday, I was passing by his house and he said, Deepak, now he had hired 25 new employees and he had to fire all of those.
Lost, or the contract's no longer going through.
Trump government stopped giving him money. At the same time, that's a business owner. But other side, one of my friend works in IRS department and he got fired. Think about big houses because he was making 200,000 a year. And now this type of mindset, we have to bring it to them.
Yeah.
Because if we don't bring it to them, they will think it's normal.
Yeah.
Right.
And you've got to get people when they come take a look, I never want somebody to come to a meeting and see a business overview until I've met with them. I want them to get the thought, the mentality, business solution mentality first. And then I want them to say, hey, look, I want you to come to the meeting and look, I'm going to introduce you to, or you're going to meet a couple people, and some you're going to be impressed by, and some you're not going to be impressed by. Correct. But if you get so caught up in how you're unimpressed with this person, you're going to miss the idea. The magic of our business is there's so many different voices. There's so many different ways it can be done. Deepak, you're a little different than me, but we do the same thing. It's rule of 72, compound interest. It's buy term, invest the difference. So you can be you here, but we both had to recruit people to become a vice president. Yes. I haven't recruited enough because I haven't become a senior vice president. I haven't promoted vice presidents. I don't have a Tony Reyna. We could have them in the business. We got two on the screen. Thankfully, Gerald and Ellis are on my team. They're on screen, but we need more.
Yes.
Because we need some people that say, hey, the dime has dropped. I figured it out. I've got to go get more recruits because I need to get promoted. I am so burning up with desire that I got to become a division leader. I got to become a regional leader. I'm going to become a vice president. I got to become a vice president by the convention. Got to have a deadline.
That's true.
You got to get fired up about it and say, hey, Deepa, I'm going to become a damn recruiter. And there's so many engineers out there. If they just get planted the right seed and you have a logical conversation, because they need logic. Or engineers need logic.
Yes.
You can be emotional, but you also got to be logical because you didn't get recruited in. What you fell in love with was the numbers, and Christian laid out the numbers. Buy term, invest the difference. That makes a ton of sense. Chris Koob talked about it. He's an engineer. He's, you hear what do they call those? The recovering engineers. Our business attracts a lot of people that like the math part of it because it makes sense. But that math part of it, if that's all you got, you ain't going to recruit people.
Right.
You got to get people to see that, look, it's logical. We've been brainwashed into thinking as an engineer, I can only be a pencil pusher, a numbers cruncher. But you got to realize if I was raised with my dad and his dad, and they were business owners, and we had the James family estate, and it was passed down in the James, this family, because at some point in your family, you go back and there were owners. But then we got this shift of all these people that became employees. My dad was an employee with the federal government. I love my dad, but he don't think like I do. I'm a little weird. He
But
don't
when
get
somebody says, okay, when I become successful, I will recruit more people.
bullshit. Excuse my language.
That's not right. We recruited more people when we were
Broke.
struggling and we were broke in this business. So the problem, the challenge in our Pramerica business, in our Christian David's Dream Chasers hierarchy is we have lots of people in between. Not too many. The most people we recruit when we means is new recruits are new.
Yes.
And RVPs, they can recruit more people than lots of non-RVPs. So
Yeah.
the challenge is in between people. I can see Elise or Gerald or Dehuti or Prince. If you guys don't recruit, you are stuck in between.
Yeah.
And it says in Pramerica, if you Gordon, tell me if it is wrong, course in Pramerica is division leader and regional leaders.
Yeah. It's a curse.
If you don't know how to get out of that, you will be there for so many years, especially division leader.
Yeah.
You can ask Devi. I always tell her and Prince, get out of this division leader level.
Yeah.
And and we all know what do we have to do to go and get promotion. Right? We all know. They
Yeah.
know.
It ain't
But if
complicated.
you don't do what you're supposed to do, this is not a job where you will talk to your RVP or your boss nicely and they will give you promotion. Here you put numbers and you are promoted. Is that true, Gerald? Right? So
Sure.
we, as our little bit mature group, we have to take a decision and get out and recruit and put some more premium and investments.
I don't know that there is another PDR to really help you guys with this advanced thought process, but I really believe it's a thought process. I can share that script. I just wrote it out this morning, but
Mhm.
that's an ideology. That's a thought process. But here's one thing. Let's talk about this. And thanks for participating, Deepak, in this thought. But you've got to not be a dictator here either. I see it happen with other RVPs, and maybe me, maybe I'm old, but I try not to be. And I'm not going to mandate. I'm not going to tell people you got to do it this way. Eric has been doing it his way. I love Eric to death because he's always right in business. Wesley, he's figuring it out, his young family. I don't dictate. I ain't going to tell you got to do it a certain way. Wesley's a senior regional leader. He knows what he's got to do to be a vice president. I ain't doing it for him. We'll see if he does it. He
Right.
could do it. Eric knows what he's got to do. Benny Andy's only been here a year now. 1 year he's been with us. And he's making money. And that's what you want, but you can't dictate. And you can't be a jerk either. You still got to turn around and call those people and say, anything I can do for you, I'm here for you. Because Christian's done that before. Christian reaches out to people. I was thinking the other day, it's nice to override. I was looking at Christian's organization. There's a guy named Paul Shee. I was like, man, give me a Paul Shee in my business. I think he's a professor at Maryland. I don't know where he's at. He's a professor somewhere. In Virginia. Give me a Paul Shee. I don't know what the hell he does, but he makes money every month.
He had a conflict with Chinese government.
Did he really?
He had to demote himself from RVP to regional leader.
Really?
We grew up together in Pramerica.
I like Paul Shee. I remember him around the business. I learned from Paul Shee. He's like a technician.
Very.
But the only problem with Paul Shee is academia, and that smartness sometimes messes up your ability to recruit.
Right.
He's really intelligent, I believe, if my memory serves me. He taught me some things about, like, he did an Excel spreadsheet years ago about the simple IRA and why it makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's genius. I can't explain it anymore because, whatever, but he took it down to the factual part of the business. Now, you want people like that in your business. You right?
Correct.
So, but you got to decide, hey, am I going to be a recruiter or am I going to continue to be recruited? And if you don't get that recruiter mentality, guys, Gerald.
See, Gordon, you, me, we all have to make a decision.
Yep.
So let's say if I want to recruit more people, I have to make a decision.
Yep.
If I have to get a Series 65 license, I have to make a decision and go for it.
Yep.
Because challenge is we make a decision and we change it too quick.
Yeah.
So let's stay on what we want in our life.
Yep.
If you are not an RVP, give yourself a goal. Okay, so Gordon says next convention. For me, it's too long. Give yourself 6 months.
There you go. I agree.
Right? Gordon, it's like a condense your time frame. Let's recruit 50 people.
Yeah.
Yes, it's extra work, but let's recruit 50. And then you put yourself or take yourself to the process and you can get recognized at convention.
So what you just said was basically become a double-digit recruiter. And
Yeah.
in the next 6 months, anybody on here, if you started and said, "Hey, I'm going to become a double-digit recruiter," in the next 6 months, you would be in a position potentially to be a vice president.
And you don't have to recruit by yourself. It's a team,
It's a
right?
team
Let's
thing.
if I have Gordon have 5 people, then I have Gerald or Alice. We as a team, once you have a momentum, you will find people.
How
We
about
all
this?
have done it. I'm not a big recruiter, but some of the recruits, I did it like we were doing 60 and 70 recruits a month in my heydays, right?
In your heyday. And how about
What?
this too? Let's be a recruiter, not of the lowest common denominator. And what I'm saying by that is don't recruit everybody to be the silent partner.
Right.
Because if you recruit, and I heard this years ago, I don't know how, but I mean, if you're thinking I'm just only going to recruit government employees and I'm only going to recruit some of those people never make the leap. So you got to be thinking, I don't want to recruit everybody the lowest recruiting denominator, which is the spouse always. That's a gimme. That can't be what you build your business on. You got to be building your business on, hey, who do you know? Who's the sharpest person you know? Who's somebody you know that wants to get free of their job? Who's somebody you know that wants to, venture out on their own? Who is somebody you know that wants to be the core center of influence for their family, build a legacy for the next generation? You got to be talking to people about somebody that's a key person and looking for that stud. Look for the stud, not the dud. Easy to recruit duds. Recruit studs. Who are the best? And if you were going to build, this huge business, who would you want to partner in the business with you? Who would you put alongside you? Get the best people. I was recruited as a friend. Jeff got me in the business because he was a friend of mine. I'm still friends of his. He's sometimes crazy. That's okay, but I still love him. I've known him for over 20 years. I worked with him 30 years ago. I've known this dude for like 30 years. He recruited me into the business.
Yep.
As a friend.
Yeah.
I became his replacement leg. So guys, what's the message of the day? Come on.
Make a decision.
And
be a recruiter.
Or be recruited.
Or be recruited.
Recruit or be recruited. You make the decision. All right. Anybody
else? If we don't do it today, do you want to do it? It's not you. Christian does not like this word. You have to. Let's say if you choose to become an RVP.
Yep.
Do you want to become an RVP in next 6 months to a year, or you want to do it after 20 years or 30 years?
Yep.
Still, you have to do what you have to do. Right? So make a decision quick, like what Andy Young did in his 30 years ago. Right now he cannot do it because he has done it. You become an RVP, make a decision.
Anybody here, this is August. Affirmations are key. What everybody should be doing in this group that's here should be getting up in the morning and writing down an affirmation. I am a recruiter. I am a builder. I'm a double-digit recruiter and a double-digit builder. I am on my way to becoming a broker. I am on my way to becoming a broker of brokers. You need to have affirmations. You need to write them down. You need to read them. You need to record them. And you need to be talking about them all the time when you're meeting with people. I'm a builder. I'm a vice president already. I am somebody that attracts people. And stop being this small thinking, terrible talking. You got to talk to yourself the right way. It's a proven fact. Think and grow rich. You think it first. So I'm a recruiter. I'm a builder. I attract sharp people into my business. And if you have a logical conversation like Gerald just read or I just read, it's like, look, if I was in a family that I lived in this huge home and I had family that had a business, I would be aware mentally of business and entrepreneurs and people that have solved market solutions, not just work and pay the bills. I wasn't. So I need to start thinking like that. And if I'm going to think like that, what's the business solution I'm bringing to the market? We already got one. We got the idea. We got that. I mean, you can't pick up POL. You can't go through one of these. Damn, this was crazy. This thing comes out. You can look at the homepage of POL, and it's just story after story after story. Million, 2 million, 700, 600. Every month there's people in this brochure. Did you make the brochure? I don't know if I didn't look for you in there, but I don't know.
Mine will be next week because I just sent them my answers because they asked me certain questions.
Yeah.
So our picture will be next week.
So guys, it's everywhere. Are you going to be that one that says, hey, I'm getting into the damn publication, I'm getting promoted, and it's just and you want to get the sharpest people around you to take a look. Hey, would it make sense to investigate if I had a viable business? Would it make sense for you to spend the time to investigate the business that I'm sharing with you? And if you say I don't have it, well, stick it in your, what, and good luck to you. But I remember a funny guy up in Chicago I enjoyed years ago. He said when people would leave his presence, Deepak, he would say paper or plastic under his breath. Paper or plastic.
Wow.
Because his mentality was, I'll see you at the Giant. I'll see you at the I'll see you at the grocery store in a few years when you're bagging my groceries. Now, I don't know that we're going to have that. That's changed so much these days. Groceries are going to be delivered at some point. We ain't going to. And now in Baltimore, they charge us every time you get a bag.
Yep.
Stupid politicians. But anyway, we got to come up with a solution.
Yes.
In the marketplace. And otherwise, I was talking to my daughter the other day. There's a family that has always done pretty well, live in a nice home in our community. And I watched the dad. Guess what? He lost his job. He lost his job. He's about 100 pounds overweight. Looks like he's pregnant with triplets. He's my age. He's like late 50s. And I'm like, he's one cheeseburger away from a heart attack. He lost his job. Then he found another job in the similar industry. All the guys I worked with before, every single one of them that I worked with, only one, he got started working with me, and then he left. He was working out in California. He didn't connect with the person, and now he's selling financial products for Dave Ramsey. And that's okay. At least he's got some freedom. Nice guy, Greg. But everybody else stayed in the camera business, and they are dead, man. Done. Put a fork in them. And that guy up the street, I was like, he drives a Range Rover, always kind of looked down his nose. And I'm thinking, man, poor guy. He got the 5225 plan. And you're all going to get it. Everybody is going to get the 5225 plan. Every company looks to replace the 50 to 60-year-old with 225-year-olds for the same cost. They get twice the labor. Happens. And you can't bat and say, well, that's the damn system. No, well, it ain't a better system.
That's the way it is.
Get in the system.
Yes.
Become the recruiter or be recruited. That's my message for the day. Let's get recruiting going this month, guys.
I agree.
It doesn't get easier next month. It ain't going to get easier next week. So what you might want to do today is get some recruiting interviews. Christian David said, hell, I'm calling as many people as I need to call every day, and I'm going to set 5 a day. And in a year, he changed his business. How'd he do it? Set 5 a day.
Set 5.
If Christian was on here, he'd say, set 5 a day. Can you set 3 a day? Let's go, guys. Let's go join those guys. Recruit and be recruited.
Great job.
So what is that is important to you? What is it that's important to you? What is it that you want to accomplish?
I mean, I would like to have more money to be able to. So I'd like to help my son a little bit. He's really good in sports. He's great in football. I need to get him a coach, like a trainer, because I feel like he could excel there. So that's important. But I mean, in all seriousness, though, we don't have enough money, to even sometimes some of the end of the month is a struggle to get the bills paid. So that stress is really frustrating. So just to even get it where like it's not ever like over and over and over again every month. I'm just trying to, move stuff around to get the bills paid. So that just alleviating that stress would be huge for me. Um, I mean, above and beyond that, yes, my son's coach, I'd like to move. I have a list of things that I would like to do to make my life better, but initially I would just like to, you know, alleviate that stress.
Okay, Allison. So just to clarify, at the very least, you would definitely like to accomplish being able to supply the opportunity for your son to excel uh, with his sports without you having to struggle and
Yeah,
have to nitpick every little way along the way. And then on top of that, the further goal, you have a list of other things you would like to go ahead and accomplish. And you're not able to go ahead and do that as of now because you don't have the income. Is that correct?
correct.
Okay. All right. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just pretty much start with okay, because we pretty much went through that part. Okay. So Allison, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how important are these goals to you? How important is it to you?
I mean, that's a
Really?
10. Yeah, getting out of this situation's a 10. I got to do something.
Okay. Okay, great. And Allison, do you know why people don't normally hit their goal?
Um, I don't know. Maybe they don't know. They don't have a way.
A lot of times, Allison, is because they don't know the price. They
Okay.
don't know, what target to aim, what to go for. Um, so Allison, do you know how much money you need to save to reach them, to reach your goal?
I mean, I feel like we're probably about maybe like 800 to $1,000 shy every month. Like I feel like I'm always, yeah. And so I like an extra that. And then for his sports, I don't really have any idea how much a trainer would cost, but I imagine it'd probably be like so probably like 2,000 a month when I think about it. 1,500 to 2,000 a month extra would really alleviate some stuff. Okay, just
Okay.
a timeout though here. Okay, so some of the goals, right? Like for me, I just need extra income, and that's a
Mhm.
good way to get it. You just need to ask that. But sometimes their goal might be financial independence or their kids' college, so you might pull out a financial calculator and help them calculate it. So it really depends on the family and what you got out up here, right? Of them of what they want to accomplish, but you just need to translate it into some sort of money, and that amount of money is the answer, right? If they had that
Okay,
amount of
so
money.
so I figure so this is the area where we want to go ahead and once we get a good outline of what they want to accomplish, then pull out the financial calculator and
Right. So
start
you might pull out the
calculating.
financial calculator if it's like FIN number or their college. But if it's something like this where I just have a shortfall in making up the difference and I have a specific goal like my son's thing, right? Then I might say, oh, if I had like an extra 800, 500 a month for my bills and then another 500 for my son, now I got it to 1,000. So you just want to get it to a money amount. And then once you get that, you go to number 8, which is like, okay, so you need 1,800 a month to make sure Anthony can, do
Oh,
his football and you're you're paying your bills on time.
okay.
Are they going to pay you an extra 1,500 where you work? Okay, so go ahead to 8. Sorry. So we're at 15.
Okay, so Allison, so you need to set aside. You said it was like 800. You need to set aside about $1,000 a month, um, to go ahead and comfortably be able to go ahead and see to it that your son is getting through with his football practice and football games, things of that nature, football ventures. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Um,
Hey,
So,
Samsung, you're writing all over the place, man, on your phone. Stop searching the web, Samsung.
um,
Okay. I don't know how to erase it.
and Allison, do you have the extra $1,000? Well, I don't know about you.
No, I definitely don't have it.
Okay, so you're not going to be able to write yourself a check for the extra $1,000 without it bouncing. Is that correct?
That is definitely correct.
Wow. So Allison, um, you said I was a 10, meaning it's really important that you provide that for your son, right?
Hmm.
But
Right.
you don't have the extra $1,000.
No.
So let me ask you, Allison, who has the problem? If
I
it's really
definitely
important,
have.
but you don't have that $1,000,
Yeah, I definitely have a problem. Because,
you have that problem, right?
yeah. I got a question.
Okay, so so Allison, you remember when we originally had met, and you had asked me what is it that I did exactly, and I told you I was going to go ahead and get to that eventually when we went ahead and connected and sat down once I had your undivided attention. So Allison, my mission is to help people get clear on exactly what they want, and then show them how to get it. How would that make you feel, Allison?
That would be great. That would be good.
And Allison, how many people would need help like this?
Everybody needs help like this. I mean, I can't be the only one that's struggling a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So Allison, suppose there is a way I can help you accomplish your goals. Is there anyone else besides you who will be involved in making that decision?
I mean, I guess it would definitely affect my husband as well if I picked up something part-time. So yeah, I would run it by him.
You will want to go ahead and make sure to run whatever we go over with your husband. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, wouldn't you agree it would probably make more sense for us to go ahead and set another appointment with the both of you,
Yeah,
so I
that would
can
make
go ahead
sense.
and go over with the information.
We could do it on
During
Zoom,
the
right?
cycle. Yeah, we can go ahead and set up another. We can go ahead and set up another Zoom appointment, and that
Yeah.
way, I can go ahead and clearly go over the information with the both of you at the same time, and then we
Oh,
can go from there. Is that fair enough?
that's fair.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So let's go ahead and
Do number
um,
12. Do number 12.
okay. When are you both normally home together so the three of us can get together? Would tonight or tomorrow night be better?
I think I can get him on tonight. I'll get him on the Zoom tonight, like around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, tonight. Okay, so what 5 or 6 work? Well, 5 and 6 this evening work best for you. Which one?
Oh, actually, 6 is even better. Let's do 6.
6? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
We'll jump on Zoom at 6. His name's Guy, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and set an appointment. So I'm gonna jot down myself, and please put this on your schedule. We'll jot down that we're gonna go ahead and reconnect at 6.
Perfect.
And we'll go ahead and you already have my Zoom information, so we will meet in the same place, and we will be meeting with you and your husband, Guy, and we'll go ahead and go from there. So I really look forward to going ahead and do that. And
Yeah,
meeting with both.
I'm looking forward to the answer, man. Okay, so good stuff. So
Right.
who we'll do real quick because it's 10:02 and everybody's back, but who has feedback for Pierre?
I actually had a question, Allison.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know the original verbiage for this script was written back when, we bundled policies and stuff. I noticed at the end when he asked about will there be anybody else included in making this decision? My question is, I've had people where I felt like I was giving them the objection, because they hadn't thought about it at first. Well, now that you think about it, I would want to talk to and then I also have clients who made the decision without the other, well, he doesn't believe in life insurance, but I do. I want some for myself. would you still say that now, even though we don't
So
bundle and we
this
do
is
separate?
this is a recruiting process, right? And the idea of this recruiting process is if I've met Pierre, for example, out in the world, and Pierre has a wife, who's involved in the decision of her getting started, we want to be with both decision makers, but it's also an opportunity because, you have your recruiting hat on, but you also have your helping the family hat, right? Like I was introduced
Right.
to the company as a client, but there's other people that are introduced to the company as a recruit. But either way, right, whether I'm introduced as a client first and then become a recruit or introduced as a recruit and then become a client, my mission is to help people become financially independent. So I need, if Pierre has a spouse, my goal is to get in front of the two of them, right? Because to help them get clear on what it is that they want and show them how to get it, right? I need to work with husband and wife, identify their needs and so forth. So they may become a recruit first, but then they're going to become a client, may become a client first. We want them both together, right? If possible. Because if you go forward and I'm not saying that I've never done it, right? But if Pierre's like, oh yeah, I'm
Right.
married, but I make my own decisions. And if I go forth and do the recruiting interview and I hire Pierre, Pierre's going to go home and talk to his wife, and his wife might beat him up with a billy club, right? And I never see Pierre again. So as much as possible, if there's somebody else that's going to affect me making a decision, right? If I say yes, but then Guy tells me no,
Yeah.
right? I don't know anybody else that's married, but that's hard to get past. So
No, I
isn't it
understand.
better? Doesn't it make more sense if Guy's going to be involved in me moving forward that he hears the same information while I'm hearing it so we can discuss it and make a decision? Right. So this
Yeah.
is like on a recruiting thing, but I think it's the same thing with a life policy. There's two decision makers. Can you close it without the other one there? Yes. But will it stay on the books? Maybe not. Right.
Yeah.
So, you just need to be aware if there's somebody else that's that involved in decision making, you need to know that.
Yeah. I just sometimes it felt like I was creating the objection, but I do understand the purpose of it, but it was like, okay, if they were looking for a way out, sometimes it felt like, okay, you was with me, yes, 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 up until I said that, and then it was almost like I created the issue. So I was just maybe that's in my own mind, but I understand the reason why we do it because it's like, I've had that. When I got recruited, I went home and told my parents about the rule of 27, and it was just like, so I get it.
Yeah. And this seriously right here, this thing right here, this is all Tony. Tony's really good about this, right? I'm horrible about this. But if you do want to get in front of the decision maker, if there's another decision maker. Yeah.
Good deal.
As far as feedback you asked,
Yeah.
I would tell Pierre to really learn it and internalize it, and then really work on tempo and tonality,
Tonality.
because that's really, I think one of the things that makes Tony really great at this is his tempo, his tonality, and all that stuff. It's something that I need to work on too, I know. So that's just something that kind of stood out.
Yeah, because even on like, for example, Pierre, just for example, on a scale of 1 to 10, you were like, so on a scale of 1 to 10, like kind of like I'm going through the motion. I don't really want to ask you this one. So that's not necessarily what you were feeling, but the tone of it came out like that. Like, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you? Like, I don't know. It was the way the inflection, right, that you had at the end made it sound like going through the motions versus like you seriously cared whether or not like what I was. Yeah. Yeah.
Good
So I
feedback.
would say that's the main thing, Pierre. You put yourself out there every time, which is awesome, right? I think if you record yourself, right, you'll hear those little nuances, those little differences. It's not so much the flat voice, it's more actually even where you put the inflection, you did it in the wrong direction, so it sounded more like, I don't know the word, but that would be the main thing, is what he said too, tonality, paying attention to the ups and downs.
Communication. It's all
Yeah.
about, good communication requires tonality. It's not always what you say,
How
but
you
it's
say
how you say it.
Yeah.
Are you fired up? Are you excited? Some of you guys need to tell your faces you're happy and excited. It's like, woo, I'm depressed. I mean, especially, you got to be, it's sometimes work. I get it. Business overview. You've heard it a million times, but you got to be fired up when you're talking to people. Hey, we've got to figure out this t-shirt thing. We had a t-shirt incentive last month, and I have heard from Jay, I've heard from Ellis, but we have this cool t-shirt that we've produced, and I haven't ordered them yet, but I need to put an order in, and we've lost some of the RVPs. So, I mean, Deep Reyna, they're not here. I need to get a head count of who's participating. We got this nice t-shirt that we've got that we can get made. And the goal was to have, I don't know if I'm going to get it done by Saturday. I mean, it's Wednesday. I can put the order in today and try, but I don't know. But I need the order. I need to put the order in ASAP Aurelius. Hector, anybody on your team qualify for the t-shirt? I would think you should get the t-shirt yourself.
Yeah, I got it. It was one by one, right?
One by one.
Yeah, I got it.
What size do you want? We're going to have you participate. So that means you're going to buy your own shirt. Is that all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do a medium, I guess.
Medium for you. So I'm going to put Hector down for a medium.
Do you know if they size big or small? Because
I think it's like a they're like Hanes shirts or the
Yeah.
whatever shirt. So I'm thinking medium would be a good size for you. I'm going to get a large for
Okay.
myself.
I'm weird like that. It's like sometimes mediums are huge and then sometimes small. Anyways,
I
we'll
hear
go
you.
from-
You're in that mid-size area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm wearing large now, not XL, thank God, but I feel better. I'm happy about that. But anyway, that's not neither here nor there. Who else got a t-shirt? We need to get the orders in. I'm going to send Ace the bill because I got like 5 coming to Ace's team. Anybody else? It's going to be easy. Matt,
Me.
anybody in your team getting the t-shirt one by one?
Me.
Jasmine can pull up the numbers and you can just see.
Yeah.
Okay. That means I got to send a message to Jasmine. Okay. Tracy, we got to get you some t-shirts, girl. We got to get you 1 by 1,000 every month, 2 by 2. Let's get you going. You got what it takes. I'd listen to you. I'd be recruited to you. But you got to get you moving. Let's go, go, go. All right. Well, that's it. I'm going to send the message out on the group, and I'll send a message to Jasmine, see if we can get the head count 1 by 1. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you. That was great today.
Bye, everybody. Good job.
Good to hear.